The reason I signed up is because I really needed a new pair of slippers. Really.
Obviously adults have the information, but they want to learn from somebody who's done it before.
I've taught this class, I believe this is my 5th time since the Ely Folk School has opened. It's been a pretty popular class.
And I like to try to grab both of them here so you don't have any shifting, so just flip it from there.
We're doing this particular wet felting style that uses wool roving. So that's like loose fibers off of the sheep that have been combed so they're all facing one direction. This process goes really fast and it gives you more flexibility. If you're not good at designing knitted patterns, you can pretty much just shape it however you want it.
You know, in our mission statement, we talk about building community and we talk about connecting to the wilderness and heritage and traditions of the area. So that's where we kind of look at when somebody proposes a class, we measure it against those criteria.
Instead of 3 on each side, try to do 2 on each side in this case.
Okay.
And maybe even just...
These are based on an old Finnish slipper that a lot of folks, grew up with their grandparents wearing, and I've heard Tootsie be the name for them in the past.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. So, yeah.
But I just ended up with more.
You must have somehow ended up with more, but
I had pretty big furry animals that I was letting down.
This area has a rich traditional heritage, lots of different ethnic backgrounds, starting with Native Americans and then adding in all the mixture of people, the Finns and the Italians and the Croatians and Serbs and all of those different people that settled here on the range. They have so many wonderful skills and traditions that we really just want to preserve that and keep the richness of the range here. We're right next to the Boundary Waters. We have wild ricing expeditions. They did a canoe flotilla all the way up to Lac La Croix to bless the canoe that they built last year. Those are just some unique experiences that you can't get anywhere else. This storefront, has a great spot in town because it's right on Sheridan, which is kind of our main thoroughfare. And we also have some spaces in the back. We're in the future going to be building a forge in one of our back buildings, so that's kind of neat.
In Ely, we have a lot of people that live out in the woods and they like it that way, and that's fine, but there's all sorts of, skills that some of us would really like to learn that we don't have the opportunity to unless we provide a space for that. So the folk school really helps provide a space for these skills to be shared that otherwise wouldn't be.
When we go to fairs or we're at the farmer's market, I'm always sort of looking. So I'll ask somebody, have you ever taken a class? Do you have any skills you'd like to share? Would you want to teach? And it's interesting because people's eyes kind of light up when they have something that they want to share.
So one other thing though, if you really want this to be your outer layer.
It seems like in this world that we live in that's just so fast-paced and there's so many technological advances that people are sometimes losing track of the things that once held communities together. And so we feel like some of these skills actually bring people together, and that's a big part of our mission.
A bunch of people are getting the opportunity to stand or sit next to each other that they may have never met and have something in common to talk about. And actually the last time I taught this class, I had a gal that I think she was 13, and then I've had folks that are in their 80s, and men and women both will come to classes, at least with this, slippers class for sure.
Your left and right foot and your top and bottom.
Part of it was that I needed new slippers, and part of it was that I had some time off of work, and so I was looking to see what classes were offered. This is my first time at the Ely Folk School. I've been to several of the other folk schools in the area and at the Makerspace in Duluth, which I think is just part of a wonderful movement. Having interesting people teach us to make things for ourselves.
You'll also be sticking your hand in here and rubbing, I have a fist again, against like that.
These are hands-on skills. They're not in your head book learning, and so they're best taught through, language in person.
Another reason to come to Ely, another important reason. meet interesting people and learn to do cool things for ourselves. So it's very exciting.
Going on, so I need to cut my opening a little bit more. It's neat to learn things that other people have to share. I can't wait to see what I'll make next.